Moritz, welcome to my show. It's great to have you here after all this time.
Alan, thanks so much for having me.
Moritz, let's get straight down to it. I've been waiting for you to come on my show for quite a long time. You are a peak performance coach.
Yes.
And trainer.
Yes.
And you are about getting people to reach their best selves.
Yeah.
But when you were younger, you did something quite different. Tell me about that and how you came to be where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So when I started my career, it was completely different. I was a banker working in finance for 12 years, for the beginning of my career, and had all kind of positions. Like I was in product development, in sales and marketing, and actually enjoying myself. But there was a reason why I didn't finally transition. Because I figured out I had success and I had some fun to a certain degree, but I never felt fulfilled. There was something missing, but I couldn't. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, I said, yeah, there's something off, but I just don't know what it is. And actually, I was heading to my burnout with 29. And then I figured it out. That's why I changed.
29, that's very early.
Yeah.
Better to get it in early than later, I guess. Gives you more time to change.
Now I would agree. I wouldn't have agreed back then, I can tell you that. Yeah.
Okay, you've done something called the mindfulness-based stress reduction system.
Yeah.
And you're very involved with being mindful in these things.
Yes.
And this is something you teach in your workshops. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Certainly, thanks Alan. Because from everything you can learn for yourself, or actually you can help your coachees and your clients to improve. When we talk about peak performance, it's all about finding your identity, finding your purpose. What is it what really ignites you, finding that out and helping people to get there. That's the one thing. I'm really passionate about that. The other thing is almost the opposite. So being mindful, and I did that, like you said, mindfulness-based stress reduction training in Toronto quite extensively. I've studied with some leading Zen masters around the world to really be in this moment. Because the answer why I did get out of finance is actually to reconnect to my higher purpose with all my senses and to live in the now. Because the number one thing why people are stressed out or even have a burnout is that they are worried and they have anxieties about something in the future. They're projecting their fears in the future.
Okay, can you give us an example of how you managed to help someone with this system?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's just very simple techniques like meditating or like watching your breath and being very aware of what's right now going on here. So if several clients, high achievers, overachievers, they are really successful, but I can relate to them because I've been there as well. Something was missing in teaching them in a few hours to reconnect what's really important. Taking a deep breath and really realizing what's here. And connecting to all the senses we have, not too much about the future. And that's how you can very effectively help people to understand what they really want.
Right, and at the moment you're working on a workshop called Vacation from Your Ego.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And you want to promote this a little bit, obviously. So let's hear a little bit about that.
Exactly. I call it vacation from your ego because the number one stressor I figured out is our ego. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the ego. Thanks God we have our ego. This is driving us forward towards outcomes, which is great. But way more often, it's just an obstacle from achieving what we really want. It's our ego. And people realize, oh, what I think is me. I am my ego, but that's just not true. And I'll help people with this one-day seminar. The idea is to get the best strategies out of this 6 months MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction training, plus the best strategies I learned in the then Buddhism way from some really almost enlightened people. And the guys like Eckhart Tolle and Wayne Dyer who really teach you to be in this now, to be mindful right now here. And from what I learned the last 6 to 7 years, I have conducted a workshop a whole day with lots of exercises and to help people to identify what is it, what drives you, and how can you be more present, more now.
When can we find out more about this? When is it taking place? Do you have an internet site with it?
Thanks, yeah, I have an internet site. It's livelifeful.com. And you will get the infos on video certainly here. And it should be ready by 4 or 5 weeks from now. So somewhere mid-November I plan to have the first workshop here in Frankfurt in English, later on in German, and depending how well it is perceived, also in other cities here in Germany.
Okay, you can see everyone writing down the website.
That's very good. Yeah, livelifeful.com. Yeah.
Well, Moritz, thank you very much for coming in and telling us about your life and your next workshop.
Thank you so much for having me. A pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.